Hey you guys, it's Toya and thank you for watching Toya JTV. Today I am going to be making chicken and rice. Listen, we have not had chicken and rice for like 2 weeks. I tried to give my husband a break, but it's time, okay? It's time for more chicken and rice. I'm going to do the casserole this time. So I'm going to show you how I do it because even though he was catching hell about me cooking this a lot. So many people like message me like, hey, what's your recipe for chicken and rice? So I'm about to show y'all how I do chicken and rice, the casserole. I do a variety of chicken and rice recipes. Like in some shape, form, or fashion, we normally eat chicken and rice. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to just show you all how I do it. Okay, so typically I start with chicken breast tenderloins. You can use just regular chicken breast. I like to use these simply because they're easier to cut up. And I'm just taking a few of them. Cause see, with this package of tenderloins, I can get like 2-3 meals out of this using chicken. So I'm not gonna make a really big thing, a chicken casserole. I'm trying to make like a small pan, enough for us to eat tonight and enough for the kids to take to lunch tomorrow. So I think I'm just gonna do like 4. 3 would do it, but I think I'm gonna do 4. All right, so I got 4 of my tenderloins in here, and I typically cut my thing up on high because I want it to start boiling. I boil my chicken first. This is like the easiest way for me to do this. You could also saute the chicken, but I'm trying to like decrease the oil if I can. But you could also saute the chicken and then shred it up. But I like to boil my chicken. I boil it and then I shred it up after the fact. So while it's boiling, and then also when you boil it, you can do your broth. So what I do is I make my broth by using seasoning salt, and I season the water very heavily because I'm going to be using some of this broth in the actual recipe. Now, if I was just doing regularly seasoning my chicken, I wouldn't be as heavy-handed. But you can just take whatever seasonings float your boat. Okay, so I got seasoning salt in there. This is minced onion. Add a few of that. I love some oregano, so I'm going to put some oregano in there. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of paprika. And let's see, what else? I'm also going to do some, I normally like to do rosemary. Oh yeah, I have rosemary. Okay. Rosemary. Chicken and rosemary go very well together. Okay, I'm just going to do just a tiny bit of sage. And there is no really rhyme or reason. Like I said, you can use, I'm just going to take it out of the big side and take a little bit. Just a little bit of sage. Okay? So, there you have it. That's my seasonings. I'm going to let it boil with this. Oh, and I'm going to do a little bit of pepper. Black pepper. Okay, and there you have it. Like I said, you can take whatever seasonings you like because you're really just seasoning the water so that you can get a broth. All right, so boom, chicken is, and I'm gonna let that boil on its own, and then I'm going to get my rice ready. Okay, so for the rice, I'm going to just use my rice cooker. Again, I told y'all, I'm a lazy cook, so anything that's gonna make my job, make this process go faster, or more efficient, I'm all for it. And I love my rice cooker. I bought it one day at Bath and Body Works. No, Bed Bath and Beyond. And I have not been cooking rice on the stove ever since. Okay. So anyway, he asked for me to use brown rice for this recipe the next time I did it. I'm not a fan of brown rice, but hey, I'm gonna do as he asked this one time. So again, I'm just gonna I feel like that rice is gonna make too much, but it'll be all right. That's like a cup, and then I just double the amount of water. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay, I'll just use what I need. All right. So I'm basically letting the chicken boil and the rice cook at the same time. And by the time the rice is done, normally the rice and the chicken get done around the same time. So once the rice and the chicken are done, then I'll shred my chicken up and add the rest of my ingredients. Okay, so the chicken is looking and smelling good. It's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer that to my bowl and shred it up. It's so tender that I can barely get it with this knife. Okay, boom. So I'm just gonna shred this chicken up. Chicken is shred. All right, so now I'm just gonna add my other ingredients, which will be my rice. And then after my rice, I'm just gonna add a can of cream of chicken. 1 can is fine, but you can also use 2 if you like it really creamy. Okay, and then this is where my broth is coming in. I'm adding a lot of my broth. This is gonna season it. That's why I put so much seasonings in that, because it's gonna help season the dish. So you don't necessarily have to season the rice, although I did put just a tiny bit of salt because that brown rice is so bland. So I put just a tiny bit of salt on the rice, but then I added my, I got the most of the seasonings from that broth. And you want it to be kind of soupy, because what's going to happen is that rice is going to soak up a lot of the liquid, and I do not like a dry looking casserole. So, and then I'm just going to add some cheese. Okay, so I added white cheddar cheese and I added Gouda. You can add whatever type of cheese you like. This recipe is very, very, very easy to customize. You can do yellow rice, you can do white rice, I did brown rice today. This is my first time doing it with brown rice. I use Gouda cheese and I use white cheddar cheese because my kids, they love white cheese. They're on this like white cheese kick all of a sudden. Normally I would do sharp cheddar with this, but this is sharp white cheddar and then Gouda on top. So I'm gonna let this stay in the oven for about 35 minutes and then we will see what it looks like after that. All right, the timer just went off and it's looking awfully bubbly good. So I'm gonna take it out of the oven and just let it sit for a few minutes before we dig in.